Yo, what is up YouTube? It is Xeno30 here, and today I'm coming to you guys with something that you don't normally see from me. But, first and foremost, what you guys are watching is indeed my first Swarm gameplay ever on Black Ops 2. Thank God, I know it took me forever, but I mean, it is what it is. In this gameplay, I go 60 and 14, which is not the most impressive numbers. I know it would be a lot more impressive with less deaths, but since it was my first Swarm, it was kind of symbolic for me, so I just had to do it. Plus, 60 kills is not, a number that you normally scoff at, so at the very beginning of this gameplay, guys, I'll warn you, I do pretty awfully. For some reason, I was just getting picked up left and right, especially by C4 and shotgun guys. Those guys just really get me. But what happened is I finally get on my streak toward the end of this round, and you'll see me right before I get the Swarm, I start playing really protective. I was actually really worried about choking it, and I nearly do choke it, but thank God the guy who I had a gunfight with missed his shotgun shot. It was almost really bad, guys. But in addition to that, I do have a couple of streaks in the second round that I get close, but I get pulled off. And the closest one, I do get my orbital, and I get about a fourth into the bar that goes to the Swarm. And I got EMP'd, and so I didn't have my orbital that I could see. I couldn't see my orbital, and I guess I kind of was playing over aggressive and got picked up by a shotgun kid, go figure. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. But since I didn't want to really just like put music on top of this because I felt like that just wouldn't do it justice, I figured that I would do something different that a lot of people do, but I figured since everyone has different stories that it might work for me. I figured I'd tell you guys a bit of a story today, and as you guys can see by the thumbnail and the title, this one is going to be about a party that I attended when I was in high school that got broken up by the cops, and it ended up in a pretty funny way. It's a lot funnier now looking back on it than it was then, because I think that was the first party that I was actually still at that got busted by the cops, so it was kind of freaky. But let me just kind of get into the story. So first off, before this party, I'd been to some other parties before, but I seem to have this kind of like spider sense, I guess you could call it, the sixth sense of like when a party's gonna be broken up, and so I've always left parties like an hour before they got busted or whatever, so I've been alright. And I'm not a drinker really. I drink very little amounts, and I don't really smoke either. I think I've taken like 2 hits my whole life. It's just not me. I'm usually just the DD guy, the guy who just goes to hang out, keep his friends safe, etc. But yeah, so in this case, it was a party. It was a good friend of mine. She was trying to, get a whole bunch of people to go, and she lives in a very residential neighborhood, as in you can't park on the street. So there was going to be like no cars parked on the street, or they were going to try not to have any cars parked on the street. And the idea was that everyone was going to like carpool with her to her house from like Walmart. Like already this is sketchy. Like I'm just saying, like, because this neighborhood has like people who drive around at night to like make sure that no one's doing anything like hood rat, or like no one's like vandalizing shit, or anything like that. Like it's a really like protected neighborhood, so already that's sketch. And then like right whenever we're going to the party, like I'm already in like her car with her and like some other people, I look on Twitter and on Instagram, and she has pictures of like the beers that she has for the party, like a whole fridge full of beers in her house and all this stuff like that. Like obviously her parents aren't home for the weekend, so it's like, oh really? Like do you not think that cops are gonna get on Twitter or something like that? And I guess she didn't think they were, or I guess she didn't think about her being in a residential neighborhood. Like I don't know, it was just all bad. But like I had faith, and my spider sense was already tingling here, but I figured I'd stay and just ride it out. Like I thought maybe we'd get lucky. Like everyone was kind of reassuring me that we were fine, but alright, so anyway, so fast forward the night a little bit. Everyone's having a good time. I think I've played 1 game of Pong at this point, and other than that, I'm just kind of sitting there chilling with everybody else. One of my buddies is absolutely not, he's fucked up. Like he drank so much, it was ridiculous. It was bad. And so we were just trying to keep him, safe, like trying not to let him do anything stupid. Like he was still trying to like walk around and stuff like that, but you could tell he was gonzo. So anyway, like there's about like 45, 50 people in this house. It's pretty packed. The music is going and whatnot, and all of a sudden like someone like says like, oh, there's cops outside, blah blah blah, like they're driving around. And so everyone like turns the lights off and shit, and like, I don't know, it just like immediately got super sketch, and like they were just like, oh, maybe they're not going to come to the house, maybe they're here for someone else, or they're just checking. which is retarded. Like, really? Like, you don't think that they're there for the huge ass party in this residential neighborhood, really? But anyway, so we're looking around for our our drunk buddy because we're trying to keep him safe and trying to keep him with us, and he's gone. Like, everyone's like, oh, what the fuck? Where is he? Like, where did he go? Well, it turns out that as soon as someone said cops, he went out the front door and just started trying to haul ass away from him. He took, I shit you not, 7 steps and ate shit right in front of the cops, which is the funniest thing thinking back on it now, but how scary must that have been for him? And we were just all freaking out like, oh shit, like Cole's done for, like what the fuck? And people started like trying to run out the back door and like jump over the fence, and they got picked up by the cops too, so the cops are questioning them on the street and whatnot. And eventually they come up to the door for the house. Like all the lights are turned off. There's like 30 people hiding in the fucking kitchen. Like the kitchen is not that big, and they're all just crammed in there. And I and a couple other buddies are just like tucked in the very far back of the living room, just kind of like watching all this. Like maybe we're not gonna get fucked on this. Like maybe we're okay. So the cop comes up to the door and starts knocking on the door. Like oh let me in. Doing the whole cop routine. And hold on, I'm gonna take a really brief aside from the story to say, as you guys can see, I did get my swarm. I'm sure you guys saw the gunfight that I just barely won. And I do get picked up off my streak here. I thought I was going to be able to go for a double swarm straight off of this. But guess who? C4 kid? Yep, right there. GG, C4 kid. Okay, back to the story. So cop comes knocking on the door. He does his own cop routine. Oh, open up. It's only going to be worse for you guys if you don't open up. Some retard who apparently was like 23, 24 or something like that, who was trying act like this badass, like he goes to parties all the time. He's like, don't go and open the door, like they can't do anything about that, just wait them out, they'll leave. So there's 45 plus people, 30 in the kitchen, like 15 of us in the living room. There's people upstairs too, and we're all just waiting these cops out. And so the cop's just slamming on the door. He's getting like more and more pissed as he has to wait. His buddy goes around the back door and shines a flashlight in through the back door, which is like a clear door, like it's not a screen door, but it's like a clear one, and he shines it in, and it shines into the kitchen, and he just is staring at these 30 people all huddled in a ball in the fucking kitchen, just looking at him. And so he starts slamming on the door too, and everyone's just like staring at him like, oh, do we still wait him out? And finally, like the chick who it was like the party or whatever, she goes to the door and she opens it up, and everything was pretty chill. Like the cops were pretty chill in general. Like they let us all go. They just made us all like the people who weren't drunk made them drive home and whatnot. But his buddy, the one who was at the back door, like before we left, he stopped all the ones, like 'cause they asked who was all over 18. You could go home. He like stopped everyone there, and he like stared at us for like 5 or 10 minutes, and he was like, "I'm just memorizing names, so that next time I see you guys in something like this, it won't be so easy for you guys." like the way he did it, like I didn't even do it justice for the way he was staring at us like all beady-eyed, like he was some badass, and I don't know, it was just really annoying. But other than that, yeah, we go home. They did make that one chick call her mom or whatever, like call her parents, and so she got really fucked hardcore off it. But I mean, like, the moral of this story, guys, is A, don't have a party in a neighborhood where you can't park on the streets. They have their own security, and it's just a small neighborhood where people are going to hear you. And if you're going to have a party in that type of neighborhood, like, don't have a fat one, like, just have, like, a get-together. And I'm not, like, I'm not trying to promote, like, teenage drinking or, like, doing drugs or anything like that. Like, don't do that. Like, just, I don't know, be me. Be the guy who just goes and hangs out and makes sure his friends, don't die. Like, that's the overall goal of this thing. And then also, don't post your shit on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, because cops know, like, they are not idiots, so they will check and you will get fucked. So don't do that. But yeah, it was just such a crazy. It was so funny, like, talking to my buddy, the drunk one, who like started to try to like run from the cops after, just because the way he described just trying to run and just immediately eating shit. But I don't even remember where we went after this. I think what happened was, I think we went to another buddy's house who had like a couple people, like they weren't like partying or anything, they were just like hanging out, and had some people there like drive us home or something like that. I can't remember. Like it was a weird night. And I have a couple other like weird, well, not a couple other, I have one other really weird party story that I'll bring to you guys if you guys want to. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna talk for the rest of this video. It's getting pretty close to done, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I didn't do a face cam because like the webcam that I was gonna use is magically gone from my room. I'm suspecting one of my roommates from stealing it, but I don't know how to call him out on that. So that's not there, and then for some reason when I was trying to use my webcam off of my computer, it was being really laggy, and I just didn't want to even mess with that. But if you guys would like a face cam, if you guys would like me to continue doing this, then I will. I'm having so much fun, quote-unquote, pub stomping right now. Like, Call of Duty itself is pretty boring right now, everyone can tell you that. And even just trying to hit, like, you know, sniper clips, like, that's fun. But I had so much fun with this gameplay, and I actually do have a ghost gameplay that I could bring you guys. It wasn't, like, I didn't have the craziest amount of kills, but it was a kill confirmed game, and I did pretty damn good for a kill confirmed game. And yeah, just let me know if you guys want to see this. I'll continue doing stories for you guys. Like I said, I have another party story that I think you guys will really like. It's it was pretty funny, and this time this shit happened to me. So and just like I don't know, even like just leaving the party, like oh man, just everything was really crazy. So. Anyways, other than that, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. As you can see, I did choke that one the double swarm off that VSAT, and at this point I kind of just got fucked from behind by shotgun kids for the majority of the time, and that's just kind of how it was. I know people are going to play how they're going to play, and so I don't want to like criticize anyone, but that's really annoying, the whole shotgun C4 combo. So I mean, do what you want to do, like it's your game, like you bought it, like you play it how you want, but it's definitely annoying. I think the only game I'd use C4 in is MW3 because you have to have a lethal. But anyway guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely let me know if you want to see more of this. I'm planning on doing more, but yeah, 16-14 guys, and I'm out of here.